Hello and welcome to the Ohio Arts Council's Rife Gallery. This is the 2023 Biennial Juried Exhibition Friends and Family DIY Workshop with artist Kate Menke. Today we're going to explore cyanotypes as an extension of the exhibition. We'll hear first from the artist, then gather our materials and work through the project step by step. This video is meant for you to work at your own pace, so please use it and pause it as you need. All right, welcome, Kate.
Hi, I'm Kate Menke, and I am a teacher here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm a mother of twins, and I am a maker. I do ceramics and photography primarily, but I'm happy to work with everything. This is an example of the work that is actually currently on view at the gallery, and the version on the right-hand side is the actual image in the gallery. And these are made using the technique we're going to talk about today called cyanotypes. Where do I get my inspiration and how do I make my art? Everybody wants to know the answer to these questions, and I make art about the things that I want to understand better. I work with symbols that are hopefully universal enough that anyone around the world can identify with them. And I do a lot of things with themes of motherhood, the female perspective, struggle, hope, memories, and I repeat things, and I love just the process of making. So that really talks about my work in a nutshell. We're going to do cyanotypes today. And what is a cyanotype? A cyanotype is a photographic print made with ferric aluminum citrate and potassium ferrocyanide. And basically what that does is those two chemicals come together and make this insoluble solution of Prussian blue. It's a light stable print that will last for hundreds of years. And it's a process that was developed in the 20th century, and we use it today, or not really today, but we have used it in my lifetime at least to make blueprints, which some of you may be familiar with. So this is an example of another work that I have done. And here you can see the same image printed as a typical cyanotype on the left and toned with coffee on the right. So what do you need to make a cyanotype, you ask? You're gonna need some watercolor paper to start with. Canson 140-pound cold press is what I typically use, but you want heavy enough watercolor paper that it doesn't tear when it gets wet, because this paper is gonna get very wet. You're gonna need some materials to protect your work surface. You're gonna need gloves and an apron because this will stain your clothes and your fingers. You will wanna have some cardboard or other chipboard type material as support for your image making. You'll need the cyanotype chemicals, distilled water to mix with those, a sink or water source, a container for mixing the chemicals, tubs for holding water and your chemicals, hydrogen peroxide, glass or plexiglass, a bulldog or binder clip to hold it together, or several of them. You'll want probably a foam brush. They work the best for applying the cyanotype solution. You can use natural sunlight or a UV lamp. If you get a lamp, you'll want to order one or purchase one that is 356 nanometers. You can search that up. And you can use photonegatives or other materials like flowers or leaves or feathers, and they make beautiful images with this process. And then instant coffee if you would like to tone your cyanotypes. The first thing you want to do is prepare your paper. You're going to wear your gloves and lay out your protect your surfaces because, again, this does stain. You're going to want to mix your powdered cyanotypes chemicals 24 hours in advance of this process. Make sure you use distilled water, especially if you have well water. Tap water will work fine if you have city water, probably. I haven't had any problem in the past. And then once that solution is sat for 24 hours, you are going to take it and paint it onto your watercolor paper. And I would recommend painting side to side, top to bottom, and then side to side again, alternating the strokes so you get a nice even coverage. Then the paper needs to sit for another 12 hours. So make sure you have lots of time before you get ready to print. All right, now we're ready to print. You've waited 12 hours for your paper to dry. Now it's time to cut it down to the size you want to use. And you're going to get your chipboard. You're going to put that on the bottom. Then you're going to take and put your paper with the yellow side, it's going to look like highlighter yellow, up, facing facing the top. And then you're going to take your negative or your object, your flower, your leaf, your feather on top of that paper. And then you're going to put your glass on top of that. The bulldog clips are used to clamp everything together so they don't move around as you actually print your cyanotype. All right. You're going to put the stuff out in the sun or use your lamp. If you use the sun, let me give you little tips. In Ohio, in the winter, you probably need about 15 minutes. In the summertime, if it's like 90 degrees and it's super sunny at noon, you're going to need about 2 minutes. So that's kind of the range of time you're going to need. If you're doing it with the UV light, 9 inches tall, it's about 12 minutes. All right. This is where the blue develops. And you're going to let it sit. And when you're done letting it sit for that amount of time, you are going to set up your materials. You're going to need hydrogen peroxide, a couple of tubs, and some water. You're going to lay those out. And then once you're finished exposing, you're going to do this next step. You're going to place your cyanotype into the first tub of water and rinse until the water comes clean. You're going to see that the water is very yellow. Just wait until it's clear. Then you're going to place your cyanotype in the second tub without anything else, and you're going to drizzle the hydrogen peroxide on it. And it is like magic. When that peroxide hits the cyanotype, it's going to go dark, almost navy blue. It's beautiful. And then at this point, you can rinse it with water and be done, or you can rinse it with water and put it into coffee for about 15 minutes to tone it to that navy color. At this point, you're going to rinse it one more time and let it dry. I typically let mine dry sitting on paper towels on the counter. So this is a process that I've used with my class in high school level numerous times, and we always get great results. So if you're looking for an easy way to get into the arts and you don't want to spend a lot of money and you want something that works really well, really easily, this is a great way to just dip your toes into the art world. I've been doing this for a number of years, and it was such a pleasure to be at the Rife Gallery working with these wonderful people and making these cyanotype prints.
Thank you so much, Kate. Again, folks, cyanotype's really a great entry point for folks that are looking to dip their toe into the arts or try their hand at some analog photo processes. And remember, when you are printing, if you are in a space that has a lot of light, it's probably going to expose. So, be in a low light area when you're putting everything together. So thank you again for joining us for this DIY Friends and Family Workshop led by Kate Menke as a part of our programming for the 2023 Biennial Juried Exhibition. I'd like to give a special thank you to Kate for the generosity of her time and talent, to our jurors, Dr. Melissa Crone, Yusuf Latif, and Jolene Powell, as well as to the Ohio Arts Council's board, the Ohio legislature, and the governor who support the Ohio Arts Council, this great space, and of course, Ohio artists. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.